I'm Kevin Harlan. I'll be joined by Clark Kellogg and Coach Mike Fratello. And Mike, Chicago hoping to even the series up here tonight.
And it won't be easy, not against this Celtics team. The Celtics are the favorites to come out of the East, and they've shown why that's the case with a convincing Game 1 win.
Very convincing. And the bright spot, Clark, from Game 1 for the Chicago Bulls, the production they got from the terrific Michael Jordan.
How about his performance? Didn't look like he had been bothered at all by that foot injury. 49 points, and he showed he's extremely ready for the big stage of the playoffs. But you know what? He's going to have to even be better for them to get the win tonight.
That's a good thought. And the Bulls will start with Charles Oakley and Dave Corzine at the 4 and 5. And the point will be Kyle Macy. And on the wings, it's the fearsome duo of Michael Jordan and the Iceman, George Gervin. And the Celtics' vaunted front court, Bird and McHale at the forward, with Robert Parrish in the middle. The backcourt pairing for them, Dennis Johnson and Danny Ainge.
And the Bulls are in dire need to even this series. Losing by 17 points in game 1. They need to make a statement tonight.
Now, here is Ainge. And here's Bird for 3. The rebound by Oakley. First quarter of play with about a minute and a half gone. Gervin for 3. McHale with the rebound. And Clark, the Bulls can't fall down 0-2 in a 5-game series.
Hey, Kevin, it's hard enough to beat this Celtics team in any series, but to take 3 straight games from them, virtually impossible.
I think you're right. A shot's good from Parrish.
Contact does not phase Slim. He makes it happen regardless.
Jordan inside. Johnson on him. Offensive rebound. Corzine. And there's the whistle on the shot. Took the foul. Shot misses. He'll be shooting 2. And Boston called for the foul. Chicago shooting their first free throws. First trip to the line in this one.
Whether he's protecting the rim or setting screens on offense, Corzine hits you like a brick wall.
And Jordan with 49 points the last game. Mark, any chance you think he'll match that?
I'm never comfortable betting against Michael Jordan, Kevin. This guy is so good and so amazing. He's got the skill and the will to do it. I think a lot depends on what kind of defense the Celtics play on.
And that's going to be the thing to watch. Now, here's Johnson. Following the miss by Michael Jordan. 4 on the shot clock. Bird way outside. And they'll turn it over. Could not get off a shot. 24-second violation. Chicago trailing here. Jordan on the wing. He's guarded by Johnson. Jordan against Johnson. Shoots a fader. Jordan can't get it to go.
Jordan laboring out there. You wonder how much Boston's intensity has played into his fatigue.
Here's Bird. Rebound by the Bulls. And first quarter, we're about 3.5 minutes in. Macy with it. And it's McHale picking him up. Macy passes to Jordan. And Boston with the rebound. Parrish has got 4 rebounds in this game. And the big question and Mike problem for the Celtics. How do they slow down Michael Jordan?
Well, they sent a few options his way in game 1. They know they need to be better and will still vary their looks.
And the first time out of the game called for Chicago.
Nothing going for them right now. Their offense is in big trouble.
Well, they seem to be in a rush to get out of this rough spot, and that's adding to their frustration.
Now, here is Jordan, and they pick up 2.
The D's got to offer more resistance. Jordan is too skilled this close to the basket.
Ainge kicks to Parrish. Johnson, the pass to McHale. And here is Ainge. From outside, off the mark.
Sometimes you do things right on offense, and the shots just don't fall.
Here's Gervin, and he hits it to tie the game up.
This is the winning mindset Jordan brings to his team. Enjoys feeding his open teammates.
Jordan against Ainge. The Celtics working the ball around now. On the wing, Burke. Beyond the arc. It's hauled in by Oakley. And Clark, here's something that no team has been able to do. Slow down the Celtics front court.
Well, there's just so much talent. Actually, too much talent at every position to be able to plug all the holes. They hurt you at both ends of the floor, too. Bird, McHale, Parrish, all elite players.
I think someday all 3 will be in the Hall of Fame.
I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case.
Here's McHale. After the Bulls picking up a basket just moments ago. That one goes. Count it. McHale's got his second basket of the night.
Down low, McHale has a myriad of moves. Just so tough to stop.
Jordan passes to Corzine. He can't hit that time. The Celtics go the other way with it. Poke loose. The pass to Johnson. The putback controls the rebound and puts it back up and in.
Relentless on the boards. McHale will outwork any opponent. You have to try to match his level of energy.
Basket is good. He'll get a chance for one more at the line. That sends Michael Jordan to the free throw line. It goes on Dennis Johnson. Boston making some changes. Walton's checked in for Parrish. Redmond comes in for Larry Bird. And it's Easting in for Dennis Johnson. Haynes the pass to Seasting.
Seasting that time saw the defense closing in and was able to force the contact and draw the foul.
The Celtics shooting their first free throws of the night right here.
Your Celtics, Jerry Seasting at the line for 2.
Shooting 2.
And he knocks down the first one.
And the Bulls unable to stay with the Celtics in game 1. It was within reach until the fourth quarter, but fell 123 to 104.
And, you know, it really came down to the experience of the Celtics. That was a huge advantage for them. This is a group of championship players, and they had one of the best regular seasons ever as well.
And good on the second, so he makes them both.
He can do so much damage from the line. The defense has to be more careful around him.
Timeout called, the Bulls. .158 left to play in the first quarter. And now for some info on this matchup, let's go across the court to our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Thanks, guys. Now, there are unique differences between these teams, of course. Boston has a huge size advantage, but they like to get on the run. Chicago is a quicker team, but they like to slow it down and set things up. Another unique aspect to the matchup, the Celtics may be bigger, but during the regular season, it was the Bulls who had the offensive rebounding edge. Back to you guys.
Thank you, David. Certainly Bulls rookie Charles Oakley, Mike, has something to do with their stellar work on the rebounding.
A strong finish for the 9th pick in the draft. Oakley came from Virginia Union. Now a year later, he's playing in Boston in the NBA playoffs.
He's got presence, though, doesn't he, Mike, on the floor?
And he can back it up with that body. And you look at this Chicago team, and they aren't your typical 8 seed.
You know, Mike, they didn't have Jordan for much of the season, and that certainly skews their record, but they are a fearless, confident, aggressive group that can hang with anybody when they're on their game. Hey, whether he's starting or coming off the bench, McHale is a guy you definitely have to game plan for. His low post moves are ridiculous.
Here is Seasting. Here's Wedman. Here's McHale. Here's Walton. Bank shot, no good. Chicago trailing here. Looking to get it going.
Oh, man. Pretty artful dribbling display by Jordan there, and it completely baffled the defender.
Here is Seasting. Now 8 seconds separating the two clocks. Passes it to Wedman. Here is Seasting. Nice ball movement by Boston. And here is Walton. Pass to Seasting. Just 4 to shoot. Here's Walton. No luck. They battled on the glass, but couldn't knock it down. All right, there's the horn. It's a close game at the end of 1. And we'll be back shortly for the start of the second quarter. Welcome back, everyone, to the second quarter in this round one matchup between the Chicago Bulls and the Boston Celtics.
And the plan for the Bulls this series is to try and slow things down. The Celtics. Want to get into an up and down game. Makes sense with all the weapons they have.
Why'd they foul there? Let it go.
Time and score. You have to be aware of both.
And the replay demonstrating once again how aggressive that defense was.
Such great timing. When you have to face a defender that can reject you like this, it certainly can change your approach.
On the court right now, second quarter for the Bulls. John Paxson is out there with Jordan. Then it's Oakley. Then there's Gerber. And it's Corzine in at the 5 down low. And the slower the game gets, Clark, the more beneficial that is for the Bulls.
And, you know, that's not easy with all the great passes the Celtics have. The Bulls need to make sure they get back in transition because the Celtics are looking to push it every chance they get.
Pushing that pace, you're right. And Jordan sends it back.
With an incredible 4-foot vertical leap and that 6'11" wingspan, it's tough to get a shot over Jordan.
And he drops in the layup off the glass. Jordan's got it all tied up now for Chicago.
The story of their offense so far has been just that, getting a number of looks from point-blank range.
Pass to Seasting. And here is Parrish. There's the pass to Seasting. That one's in, his first bucket of the game. He's 1 for 2.
Inside amongst the trees, Seasting relies on his quickness. That's how he beats bigger guys.
Paxson passes to Jordan. Yes, that goes in. And that's 12 points for Michael Jordan.
There are very few players who can slow a scorer of his caliber down. And during the season, Boston took 5 of the 6 meetings. But Boston was beating just about everyone at that rate.
So the Celtics called timeout, their first. And only one of those meetings between Boston and Chicago, Clark, featured the Bulls at full strength.
You know, Jordan only played the Celtics once in the regular season, Kevin. It was his 4th game back from injury. We're seeing how different those matchups could have gone had he been healthy.
That's a solid observation. Looking at who's out there now for the Celtics. Bird comes in for Wedman, and Dennis Johnson's subbed in for Danny Ainge. Rejected by McHale.
Not today. McHale with the rejection, putting his enormous 8-foot wingspan to use.
Nice shot by Jordan.
Teams love hammering the ball inside and getting easy looks.
To the paint. And it's Parrish finishing it off.
A well-timed feed was the catalyst for that bucket. That's how you set someone up for success.
Here's Johnson. Buries it down low. Johnson's got the lead up to 4 now for Boston.
Silky floater that time by Dennis Johnson. Knows exactly what he needed to do there to beat the defense.
Jordan with the bucket.
You know, we all know about the Boston home court advantage. They won 40 games here during the regular season. A dominating home court advantage for the Celtics this year.
Now, here is Bird. He's still scoreless so far in this one. Here's Johnson. Great play by Bird to set it up.
Fantastic work inside from Johnson. Not bashful at attacking from the paint.
And, Mike, the Celtics, as you said, so dominant at home.
And that home record has everyone in the East nervous about playing them. The Celtics can make the most out of a home court advantage. Hard to see anybody taking many games here.
And, Mike, looking at the 2 stars for the team. Michael Jordan right now with the edge over Larry Bird.
And Jordan is a much more pure scorer than Bird. Still, you expect Bird to crank it up later if this team needs his scoring punch.
And they're going to. Bulls making a switch here. Macy's checked in. Mike, the Celtics still looking for an answer to Michael Jordan.
And you might see more double teams and triple teams at the rate he's scoring. He's on his way to another monster game scoring tonight.
Here is Seasting. Pass to Johnson. Seasting got the loose ball, but that will be a backcourt violation. Green is checked in for Charles Oakley. Here's Jordan. And Jordan now over 20 points in the first half. Mike, looks like another big game is brewing for him.
And he has that look in his eye early on. At this rate, who knows how many points he'll end up with.
Well said. To the middle. Here's Johnson. And he lays it straight in. Johnson's got 6 points.
You know, passes like that go a long way. Terrific teamwork.
Time called here. The Bulls decide to talk it over. You got to like what Kevin McHale has done in this game.
He's getting to the rack all game. If they can't do a better job of keeping him out of the paint, they're in for a long night.
Banks checked in for Chicago. Now here's Jordan. 20 points for him. McHale with the rebound. McHale's got 12 rebounds here tonight. Big time effort. And as we expected, Mike Fratello, this Celtics front court has been a problem for Chicago.
And this is something the Bulls won't ever have an answer to. I mean, the whole Eastern Conference didn't have an answer for Bird, McHale, and Parrish.
Future Hall of Famers in some people's eyes. Right now, Coach Fratello firing on all cylinders.
Yeah, there's a nice flow to this offense right now.
Here's Jordan. Second shot opportunity, and it's good on the layup. Jordan's got 22 points.
We've seen this from Jordan before. He lurks around the offensive glass.
Seasting passes to Bird. Got 3 off the mark.
Even with every shot clanging off the rim, he seems determined to keep hoisting up these threes. It might be time to get inside of that arc.
Now here's Jordan. He's got 22. Pass to Macy. Puts up a 3. Good, and it's Jordan picking up the assist. Jordan's got 3 assists tonight.
He rarely shoots it, but Macy drilled before it.
And out of bounds, the Bulls will take it. Walton's checked in for the Celtics. Ainge comes in for Seaston. We've got 1:55 left here in the second. to the left wing. Here's Macy. Off the mark there with the three-point shot. Boston trailing. You look at the numbers for Larry Bird this season, Mike, 25, 10, and 7. I mean, numbers that he's put up for several seasons in a row now.
Bird has defined what the small forward position is all about. And that's 6'10", by the way. He impacts the floor in every metric. I'm ready to call him the best small forward ever. It would take a special talent to knock him off that pedestal.
And coming from you, that's high praise. Jordan, count the bucket, and he's got a free throw coming up as well.
A testament to his superior strength. I like watching Jordan muscle through contact and finish.
This is his second trip to the free throw line. Jordan no good on the free throw. And Boston has possession. And he stays with it. The shot's good from Ainge.
Tremendous effort by Ainge to get in there for the board and get a shot back up.
Jordan down low. Covered by Johnson. Jordan can't get it to go. Boston leading by 3. Here's Ainge. McHale trying to free himself. A second chance effort. It's good again, and an excellent 7 for 8 shooting night so far.
McHale can put up points in a hurry, folks. So efficient in how he scores.
And Macy kicks to Jordan. Shoots over Johnson. No good from Jordan. Just 1 second between the shot clock and game clock. And stolen by Banks. Green against Johnson. His first shot coming late. Danny Ainge pulls it in.
He had space to operate inside, but just couldn't get it to fall.
With 1 on the clock, Kevin McHale has been on display for the Celtics. After a fantastic quarter, he's sitting on a double. It's called the City of Champions. The third quarter set to get underway here at the Garden. We're here in Boston for Game 2 of the Bulls and Celtics. Second half of play getting going here in Boston.
You look at the firepower of this Boston team. 3 All-Stars in Bird, McHale, and Parrish. And this core has been together for their latest title runs.
And now, let's go to DA.
Thanks very much. Now, we know about Larry Bird's determination at certain points, but Michael Jordan has some of those same qualities. He missed 64 games this season with a broken left foot, and Chicago management didn't want him to play anymore. But he put that foot down, citing his love of the game clause that's in his contract, which allows him to play whenever he wants. And he said, I'm going to play basketball. That's what I am, a basketball player. He's back on the floor. Guys?
David, thank you. It's a great story. Michael loves to play the game, Mike Fratello.
And he rarely seems to get tired. Some people have speculated that because he missed a great deal of the season, he doesn't have the normal fatigue at this time of year.
We've got Bird. Parrish is out there with Kevin McHale. Then it's Johnson, and it's Ainge in at the 2 guard. They're the group for Casey Jones starting the second half.
Phenomenal defense from Gervin, using his length and athleticism to make shooters uncomfortable.
And the Celtics core club won in 1984 and returned to the finals again last season.
And I think for this Celtics team, anything short of a title, Kevin, is a bust. I mean, they know they're the team to beat, and they carry themselves that way. One of the most talented teams we've probably ever seen in the league.
I agree. Offensive rebound. Shots good by McHale.
Right now, it's simply the second shots that are killing them. I mean, they've got to do a better job securing the miss after playing solid defense.
And it's so deflating giving up a score like that. Work hard to force a miss, and then it's all for nothing.
Chicago calls timeout.
The coach now looking to make some adjustments.
Yeah, so I like this timeout. Reset, talk it over how you want to attack this game.
Bulls trail by 3. On the wing, Jordan. Kicks it to Oakley. Over McHale. Macy. The lead pass was put in just the right spot. Macy's got 7.
Oakley's such a good all-around team-first guy, setting up a shooter with a nice pass there.
And when you look at that stacked 84 draft class, obviously there's Jordan. Some incredible talents in just their second season.
The offensive rebound. And that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle and 2 shots coming up. It's going to be on Michael Jordan.
I like seeing Ainge put pressure on the defense, finding ways to get to the line.
This is his first free throw of the game. Mike, a lot of impact players coming in that 1984 draft class in the NBA.
And the talent is at all positions. Great guards, forwards, and of course, Hakeem as a center. Could go down as one of the best draft classes in a long, long time.
You are so right. And it's Bird missing.
He's out there just forcing it. Terrible mindset to have with the way he shot so far.
Making the D look helpless right there. That was a forceful drive.
I mean, Clark, how can you counter that kind of intensity?
Sometimes there's just no stopping the play. This was one of those times.
And the foul called on Michael Jordan. And that'll be his 3rd foul so far. Third quarter here, and 3 minutes have come off the clock. Here's Bird over Gervin, and it's off the back rim. No good. Chicago leading. A drive by Jordan. And Clark, that'll put Jordan at 30 points once again.
Every time you look up, it seems, Jordan has more and more points. They just keep coming. He's been every bit as impressive as he was in Game 1 to me.
Looking at the way Jordan finished the regular season, you had to know that he was on the verge of having a stellar playoff run. Scary to think how good he'll be in the coming years.
Mike, his work ethic I know impresses you so much. Pass to Ainge. Back to Johnson. Over Paxson. Here's McHale. And that one is good with the extra effort on the glass. McHale's got 8 points here in this quarter. And it's the Bulls with the ball. A 2-point game. Almost 30 points per game for Michael Jordan, Mike, in the final 5 games of the season. An unbelievable streak.
And the future for Jordan looks bright as ever. Starting to show he's more than just a high flyer. He started to develop the skills to score at all levels of the floor.
You sound like a coach. I know you appreciate that game so much. Edmonds checked in for Boston. Seaston comes in for Johnson. And the Bulls making a change here as well. Green, he's checked in for Corzine.
That's normally one of his spots. And it was a quality look. Shame to see it go to waste.
Goes up the baseline. Wow, way off on that.
Got some space in the mid-range, but wasn't able to convert. Still, not a bad chance for him.
Like the way this game has gone, the Celtics cannot slow down Michael Jordan.
Well, they've tried some different looks in the first half, but nothing seems to be the answer for Jordan.
You're right.
What concentration from Jordan, not allowing the defense to affect this shot, even with contact.
Now a timeout called by Boston. We've seen Michael Jordan really having a great game.
You know, that defense is helpless right now. I mean, he's got their number, and he knows it.
And the Celtics making a change here. Walton's checked in. And a change for the Bulls. Banks is checked in. Redmond the pass to Parrish. And the shot is good. Parrish has got the game tied up here for the Celtics.
Playing to their strengths. Boston doing a nice job feeding the Chief inside and utilizing his size.
A nice shot by Jordan.
Tremendous strength there from Jordan. Knows he's going to get hacked inside. Finishes through it.
And Jordan continues to be the dominant scoring force on the floor. Mike, Bird can't even keep up with him.
That's no knock on Bird. That's just how special Jordan is. He is putting on an absolute show in this game.
I bet Bird is impressed too. Goes up and lays it nice and easy. Jordan's got 38 points.
Firing on all cylinders right now. Jordan is showing no mercy and getting any shot he wants.
Here's Seasting. It's hauled in by Oakley. Oakley's got double-digit rebounds now in the game. And the dominance of the Celtics, Mike, have shown again this season. It feels like it's their year.
They know it's championship or bust for them. They figure they'll be tested on the way and could also have to deal with their old pals, the Lakers. But all season long, they have been the front runner, and that won't change until they're knocked out.
They've got the target on their back for sure. Here's Oakley. Rebounded by the Celtics. Parrish has got 9 rebounds now tonight. Green, the pass to Jordan. No good that time. And the Celtics going the other way now. Inside, looking to end his cold spell. And he overshot that one, missing.
He has to be smarter there, guys. We all know he can make that shot, but the defense was right on him there.
Michael Jordan is now over the 40-point mark. Again, Mike Fratello in this series.
You look at the Boston defenders, they are at a loss for what to do about Jordan. He's adjusted to their adjustments.
Well said. Here's Seasting. Back to Walton. It's stolen by Green. And here's the fast break. Jordan leading the way. Oakley misses.
Really good rim protection, impacting the shot right there.
Yeah, whether he blocks it or simply alters it, the result is pretty much the same.
Pass to Wedman. Can they get it? Count it. Good. Wedman's got his first points of the game.
Keep these handles, folks. A spin move like that is how you shake the nearest defender up for good.
Michael Jordan getting it done for the Chicago Bulls. This has been a remarkable game for him offensively. Anytime you get over the 40-point mark, it's been a special, special day. We've got more in. Final quarter of play starting in this Game 2 matchup between Chicago and Boston. Here's Mason.
And with the injury Jordan sustained this year, he has about as fresh of legs as anyone. He showed that in Game 1. That's not a bad look. They missed that chance, but he'll get them to fall if he gets space like that.
So for Chicago right now, Irvin out there with Oakley. Then it's Jordan. Then it's Corzine. And it's Macy in at the point guard position.
A gigantic guy. I love when Walton uses his size to attract attention inside.
And Jordan with the broken foot earlier this season, Clark. Boy, right now he looks 100%, doesn't he?
You know exactly right, Kevin. He had some games towards the end of the year to get himself acclimated and going again. But as you said, he looks locked in now with no holds barred on his game.
No limits at all.
Exactly. Smart play to save the easy shot. He'll make them earn it at the line.
I like the strategy. Make them shoot for it.
Celtics trail by 4. Ames the pass to Johnson. Now Walton. Corzine defending. Irvin against Bird. Back to Walton. And Walton throws it down.
What a gifted passer. Bird enjoys shredding defenses in pick and roll.
Here's Jordan. Uses the glass to finish the layup. Jordan's got 44.
With no one getting in his way, he goes for the easy money. Excellent play.
Johnson finds Bird. To the inside. And with that, the Chicago lead is cut down to 2 on the bucket from Walton.
And, you know, part of the reason why the Celtics feel comfortable pushing the tempo, the development of Danny Ainge, it gives them another option to initiate the fast break.
Jordan inside. Johnson's there. The shot's good from Jordan. Jordan's got 6 here in this quarter. Ames the pass to Bird. Johnson with it. The pass to Walton. 5 on the clock. To Johnson. And that comes off the assist by Bill Walton. Mike Ainge, a player that makes a difference off the stat sheet. Always doing the little thing.
He's an X factor for the Celtics. He can spark the team with a few hustle plays, three-pointers. A great fit alongside the rest of the Boston Stars.
Terrific fit. Bird kicks to Ainge. The Celtics need to get a shot off, and he hits it and gets hacked on the play. A three-point possibility if he can convert the free throw.
Shot's good.
The grace of Bill Walton. His combination of talent and effort and instincts, unbelievable.
The free throw off from Walton. Chicago leading. Here's Jordan. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line. It goes on Dennis Johnson.
Well, there's a reason it was way off. He got fouled.
Yeah, easy whistle.
And so Jordan nails both of them.
We all know about Michael's offensive prowess, okay? But he's incredible defensively as well. He works hard at that end, and that's rare for a star.
Johnson outside. Shoots over Macy. High post Johnson. He kicks it to Bird. Passes to Ainge. Bird against Gervin. Bird, the pass to Ainge. No good from outside. Well, the Celtics knew they needed to slow down Jordan, Mike, but it's been more of the same from him in this game.
Jordan continues to abuse whatever defender they throw his way. There might not be an answer for him.
Continuing to thrash and make things happen.
Well, the critical free throw was the one to make it a two-possession game, and he got it.
And the foul called on Michael Jordan. That will be foul number 5 on him. And a little over 3.5 minutes in the books so far here in the fourth. Not that one. The Bulls' lead has been cut down to just 2 points in the bucket from Danny Ainge. Gervin passes to Jordan. Good, and the assist goes to Gervin. Jordan's got 53.
One thing that separates Gervin is patience. He can't speed him up. And if you leave somebody open, the Iceman will see it.
They'll need to make some major adjustments to compensate for him fouling out with the game on the line.
Chicago making a switch here. Paxson's checked in. Chicago on defense. Johnson surveying the floor. On the wing, Bird. Covered by Gervin. They get it again. And he gets it to go as they call the foul. He's on his way to the line for one more.
That is one of the many things you get from Walton. He's a relentless rebounder.
Pass to Macy. Takes the assist and lays it in. Picked out the pass nicely. And the Bulls lead by 4. And so it's Johnson who brings the ball up for the Boston Celtics. Shot's good by McHale.
Physical contact, no problem. McHale says bring it on. He'll just power through it.
To the paint, Walton with the steal. Macy against Ainge. They get it back. McHale misses from short range.
That was tough to watch. He takes it all the way to the cup and just can't finish the job.
Shot's good by Oakley.
Oakley knew exactly how important that bucket was, and he found a way through effort and focus to get the bucket.
Now a timeout called by Boston. Pass to McHale. Rebound by the Bulls. Gervin in the post. Bird cover. And it's Gervin finishing it off.
The Iceman. Gervin gets up to throw it down.
Now a timeout called by Boston. Parrish is checked in for Walton. Celtics trail by 6. Johnson outside. Fishes to Bird. The shake. It's hauled in by the Bulls. Korzin's got 8 rebounds in this game. It's tipped. Now here is Ainge. Johnson finds Bird. Back to Johnson. Down low. Gervin with it. And it's Bird picking him up. Oakley passes to Macy. And he makes good on the way. And it's an 8-point Bulls lead.
Doing what they can to grow this lead as the clock winds down.
Got to make it as difficult as possible for there to be any kind of comeback. This is just what they want to be doing.
Shot's good by McHale.
Good luck trying to stop Kevin McHale down low.
Macy passes to Paxson. They get it back. Here's Korzin. The third shot of the possession finally falls for him. Corzine's got his first points of the night.
Look at that work rate. Given the second effort to get the score off the miss.
Here's Johnson. The teardrop falls in.
Pulling out all the stops. Johnson giving a 100% effort to get his team the clutch bucket.
That one is good from Macy. Macy's got the lead. Back up to 8 now for the Bulls.
That's a nice play there. Not going to miss many from there.
To the middle. McHale trying to free himself. And Bird gets it to go on the assist from Dennis Johnson.
And this is who you go to in the clutch. Bird is consistent at delivering in these moments.
No good from Paxson.
In order to get back in this one, they'll have to be perfect from here on out.
No wiggle room at all. Any mistake or lost possession could shut the door on their night.
Yeah, you know what is funny? With Bird, the more the game tightens up, the more he relaxes and gets loose. And those competitive juices take over.
And the D daring him to prove he can make it from that spot. Unfortunately for him, not able there.
Timeout called the Celtics. They're behind by 5. 35 seconds left in the fourth quarter. What's your take, guys?
Can't afford to waste time. If they can get a score quick enough, they can get back on defense and try to get a stop instead of having the foul.
The pass to Bird. Money! What a beautiful shot to bring him to within 3.
The defense was there, but Bird doesn't get distracted easily, which is why he's able to make tough shots.
Paxson passes to Gerber. The baseline J. And Boston with the rebound. Time called here. The Celtics decide to talk it over. They're down by 3. 11 seconds left to play in the final quarter. Guys, what's your take?
I think if they leave the three-point shot open, you take it. But it may be safer and wiser to get a quick 2 and then foul.
Well put. But they shouldn't force something up here. You have to be smart.
Frames it from downtown.
This is how automatic Bird is. All he needs is the ball, and instantly that shot is gone.
Time called here. The Bulls decide to talk it over. 8 seconds left to play here in the fourth. Macy passes to Corzine. Oh, off target.
And Corzine shows no fear in dealing with contact on the way up. In fact, he seems to welcome it.
So he gets them both, and it's a 2-point ball.
Now, that's how you capitalize at the line. As long as they play good defense, I think they should have this win locked up.
Now a timeout called by Boston. They trail by 2. Just 4 seconds left in the fourth. Here's Bird. Oh, missed it. And amazingly, the Bulls, Mike, have come into Boston and gotten a win. Great performance from them.
And with the series tied at 1-1, in the next 2 games in Chicago, the Bulls now have a real look at pulling off a miracle.
Well, Clark, the Celtic fans have to be feeling a little bit nervous after losing this game at home.
No doubt about it, especially when they have to deal with Michael Jordan
The thing that I liked most about Michael Jordan as a player was the fact that I didn't have to try to guard him. If you had a poor defensive scheme, he was going to fill the hoop up until you either figured it out or the game was over and you lost the game. Some of his acrobatic drives to the hoop are just remarkable. You know, he can get past the defense and use a little bit of English off of the glass. The ball drops in so nice. It takes some really advanced skills to do that consistently. The 1988 All-Star Game was a showcase for my
Crosstown traffic and the green line whizzing by overhead on this calm winter night in Chicago. But not for long.
All-Star Exhibition Game. Let's meet the starters for the West. Back forward, making his 7th All-Star appearance, the standout veteran of the Denver Nuggets, 6'7", Alex English. Making his All-Star debut, the fourth star of the Utah Jazz, the mailman, 6'9", Karl Malone. The man in the middle, an All-Star, each of his 4 pro seasons from the Houston Rockets, 7 feet, Akeem Olajuwon. At guard, making his first All-Star appearance, the virtual star. And now, the starting lineup for the Eastern Conference. Back forward.
Welcome, everyone, to Chicago for the 1988 All-Star Game. By my side, Clark Kellogg, and our sideline reporter tonight, David Aldridge. I'm Kevin Harlan. And Clark, this is the second time Chicago has hosted this mid-season classic.
Yeah, you go back to 1973, that's when they hosted their first one. The East won it 104-84 back then. That was the lowest combined score in an All-Star game, Kevin, since the 1950s.
We'll see if then tonight, Clark, they can surpass that total.
I would think they could. No shortage of scores on either side. I expect an up-tempo, fast-paced game, an exciting game with plenty of highlights and buckets.
Cannot wait. And your West All-Stars, Fat Lever and Magic Johnson, the guards, Alex English and Karl Malone at the forward spots, and in the middle, Hakeem Olajuwon. For the East, it's Moses Malone inside and Dominique Wilkins with Larry Bird the forwards. And in the backcourt, Isaiah Thomas and Michael Jordan.
And you look at Larry Bird and Magic Johnson, rivals since college. Early on, no love lost between them, but over time, they've become friends.
Now here's Jordan, and the shot goes down. Jordan's got his second bucket tonight. And starting last season, Clark, Michael Jordan's scoring went through the roof.
Averaging over 37 points per game, partner, and he's kept close to that pace this season as well. Remarkable.
Amazing and remarkable, right? Wow.
You got to make sure that you're stationary and set when you're going to set a screen. Any kind of movement typically will draw the whistle.
And so it's Wilkins who brings up the ball for the East All-Stars. Clark, you see Larry and Magic together in those Converse ads. They've become really the faces of the NBA.
And, Kevin, I think they've inherited the mantle from the great Dr. J. He's done such a great job representing the league all these years, and certainly he's left it in good hands with those two.
Yeah, that's a great comparison. Here's Malone. Following the basket by Michael Jordan. Down to 5 on the shot clock. And here's Johnson outside. Rebound, Malone. And the Eastern All-Stars favored to win tonight.
Star power and firepower. veteran IQ and smarts, but you never know. The West has quite a bit of talent, too.
Indeed they do. And he's good on the second. Now English. To the inside, Olajuwon. The grace of Hakeem Olajuwon. Something special to see. Clark, amidst this all-star celebration, labor negotiations between the players and the NBA continue.
Trying to find their way through this current impasse, Kevin, and looking to avoid any interruptions to this game that we all have a love affair with.
Yeah, I know you and I hope they can find some common ground.
Please make it happen soon.
Johnson, wide open, he fires. It's good on the putback. And tonight's All-Star MVP will have a $5,000 check presented in their name, Clark, to the Thurgood Marshall Black Education Fund.
A great cause in honor of a terrific American.
And Michael Jordan winning the dunk contest yesterday, Clark. Can he add to his trophy case tonight?
Kevin, I think his teammates want to see him win the MVP. I think they're going to give him as many touches as he needs to have a chance to do it.
Ooh, that'll be fun to watch. And if there was a snub, Clark, for this year's All-Star game, many felt it was the sharpshooter Dale Ellis of the Sonics.
Well, you take a look at what he's done. He's the only top 10 scorer in the NBA who was not an All-Star.
The Tennessee Volunteers should be here. And some changes here for the East. Brad Daugherty, he's checked in for Malone. Ewing comes in for Larry Bird. And it's Rivers in for Thomas. So an almost entirely new group now for the West. Abdul-Jabbar's checked in for Olajuwon. Worthy comes in for Malone. McDaniels checked in for English. Clyde Drexler has subbed in for Lever. And Kareem looking to set the career record for all-star scoring. Isn't that something?
It really is. Needs just 10 points to do it, Kevin, and you got to love his chances. I mean, that's a layup for him, pun intended.
Yeah, a good one. And an exhibition game with plenty of motivation for these stars nonetheless. For more, let's say hello to David Aldridge.
Thanks very much. Now, I was talking to Larry Bird about his goals for the matchup, and he said, I think our job is to get the ball to Michael Jordan, get him into the game, and get the crowd into the game. So if Bird has anything to do with it, Michael Jordan will be the MVP. And that would be poetic justice this weekend. Guys, back to you.
Especially where we are. Well said, David. Thank you. Jordan Clark, obviously, in front of his hometown crowd. He loves it, and they really love it.
No doubt about it, Kevin. You think about the fans in Chicago. They love basketball. And I can expect, and you can too, a ton of energy, some extra adrenaline anytime Michael touches the ball.
Clark, this city is on fire with Jordan, aren't they? I mean, they love him, and they think about what's to come. My goodness.
Smoking.
Yeah, there's got to be some excitement, maybe even, Clark, some butterflies playing in the All-Star game. You want to prove you belong out there.
I agree with that, and there can also be the temptation to try to do a little too much, maybe get flashy, but with these players still getting a feel for each other in the flow, a lot to be said for making the simple play.
Nevertheless, a great honor.
On the drive, MJ is so ferocious, he never even thinks about slowing down. Pedal to the metal.
Here's Rivers. That's good, and it's Daugherty with the assist.
A native Chicagoan, Glenn Doc Rivers, a first-time All-Star. He said 5 years ago he sat in the same hotel and cried because he wasn't drafted in the first round. Now, same setting, but the script has been flipped. It all comes full circle for Doc.
Here's Ewing. The size and aggression of Patrick Ewing inside.
And with Patrick Ewing leading the way, the New York Knicks finally competitive again. The big man has quickly found a rapport with rookie point guard Mark Jackson. They are a team on the rise. Book that.
And as the first quarter wraps up, already a double-digit lead. East All-Stars ahead. They're up by 11. And we'll get things started in the second quarter when we return. Welcome back, everyone, to the 1988 All-Star Game here in Chicago. As these great fans hope Michael Jordan can bring home the win and the MVP hardware.
And the head coach of the East, Mike Fratello, his first time coaching in the All-Star game.
And Michael Jordan, not only last season's leading scorer by a mile, but Clark Kellogg this season, he is in the running for the Defensive Player of the Year.
He is the true definition of a two-way player. Gets it done at a high level at both ends.
We've got Rivers, Dominique Wilkins out there with Bird. It's Michael Jordan, and it's Ewing in at the 5 spot. So that's the 5 in the game for the East All-Stars. How about that? Mike's a terrific friend of yours and mine, and Fratello's Hawks recently moved into first place in the East after the Cavs beat the Celtics. Clark enabling him to become the coach of the East All-Star.
So don't be surprised if the Cavs' Brad Daugherty gets extended minutes in his first All-Star appearance. You scratch my back, I scratch yours.
And here early, Clark, the East has the edge.
You look at that team on the East squad, an embarrassment of riches, Kevin, and, you know, they've got so many weapons. I think it simply comes down to execution for them.
And Magic Johnson, Clark, made it clear coming into this game that he wanted the challenge of defending the great Michael Jordan.
He certainly did, and the West as a team will certainly have their work cut out for him trying to slow that guy down.
That is going to be fun to watch. Timeout called here by the East. They're going to talk it over.
Giving up way too many scores inside. I can see why Coach called the timeout there.
Lever against Rivers. Here's Johnson, and Jordan sends it back.
Boy, much respect for the defense of Jordan. I mean, he gives his all.
Oh, my, what a play.
Pretty artful dribbling display by Jordan there, and it completely baffled the defender.
The West trails by 15. Here's Olajuwon. And Magic Johnson continuing to orchestrate beautifully.
How about this list? Players who have never missed an All-Star game in their careers. Jerry West, Bob Pettit, Larry Bird, Isaiah Thomas, and Hakeem Olajuwon. Those last 3 playing here tonight. And Coach Mike Fratello, a colleague of ours, coaching in the All-Star game, standing tall amongst a bunch of tall guys in the NBA. You know, his dad was an amateur boxer, and, you know, I think that background gives Mike a lot of confidence as a coach.
And Clark, not easy for these coaches to put their stamp on the game. Only a 1-hour practice yesterday to get acquainted and move through some sets.
And, you know, Kevin, it's not about necessarily practice time. A few offensive sets is all that's needed. I think it's how you manage the players and give them a platform to have fun and do what they do.
That's a good point. Catching up on the changes for the East. Malone comes in for Ewing, and McHale is subbed in for Wilkins. Back to Lever. He feeds it to English. That ball. Great assist by Lever.
You know, people said Alex English was too light of frame, too skinny, not athletic enough. Well, how about this? He's playing in his 7th straight All-Star game. So much for being too skinny.
Count it.
He is certainly a dominant player. Michael Jordan, when he's in the zone, unstoppable.
Back to Lever. Malone against Olajuwon. English looking around. Shot clock at 5. And there's the drive. And the jam by English. Clark wide open, high scoring both ways.
These tremendous All-Stars are putting on a tremendous show, Kevin.
What a blast.
Moses Malone is not only a 6-time rebounding champ, but he's also a 10-time All-Star. He gives the Washington Bullets some real muscle inside.
Here's Lever. And it's Rivers with the rebound. The East leading by 13. Jordan. And not many out there who can elevate like Michael Jordan.
Outstanding finishing there by Jordan. Terrific at getting inside and powering the flush down.
Timeout called here. The West All-Stars decide to talk it over. Ainge has checked in for the East. Thomas comes in for Rivers. The West All-Stars also changing it up. Abdul-Jabbar's checked in for Olajuwon. Worthy comes in for Karl Malone. And it's Drexler in for Lever. And he comes up with the deuce.
Boy, smart pass by Abdul-Jabbar, ready and willing to find his open teammates.
Here's Jordan. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul.
Draws the whistle and nearly gets it to fall.
And this is his second trip to the line tonight.
At the line for your East, Michael Jordan, taking 2 shots.
And the first one at the line is good.
We all know about Michael's offensive prowess, okay? But he's incredible defensively as well. He works hard at that end, and that's rare for a star. He's as solid as it gets from the line. I mean, give him the opportunity. He's cashing in on those.
Here's Worthy. Whistle blows. Basket is good. So a chance here for a 3-point play. And James Worthy here in Clark, his 3rd All-Star game.
Yeah, I was part of the '82 draft when Worthy was the #1 pick out of North Carolina. He can hurt you on the block as well as in transition.
So refresh our memories. He was #1. Where were you taken?
I was number 8.
That's
Kevin.
right.
Number 8.
That's right. I knew that. I just wanted you to boast a little bit. Here's Johnson after the made shot from Michael Jordan. Good D by Johnson.
Well, he's much better than that. Really no excuse for missing that lay.
And the West can't hang on to the ball. You gotta love strong defense, especially when it comes in the form of harsh rejections. Wow.
You know, that's about as good a defensive play as you're going to see. Instant reaction to get a hand on the shot. Beautifully done.
Now here's Jordan. 30 points in the game. Kevin McHale with the masterclass on the low block.
This is the 4th All-Star game for the Celtics' Kevin McHale. Kids at home who want to learn how to score in the post, just put the isolated camera on Kevin McHale, please. Moves on top of moves in the paint.
It's Jordan with the drive. And Jordan slams it in.
Michael Jordan, MJ. It really doesn't get much better than this.
Here's Drexler. And here we go. Fast break. Jordan's got it. And the jam by Isaiah Thomas.
Playing with pace pays off as they got it right to the cup.
1 second left. Doesn't go for him. And so a pretty lopsided game through the first half. The East All-Stars up on top, just dominating this one. And we'll be back right after halftime to get the 3rd quarter underway. And we welcome you back to the second half of the 1988 All-Star Game here in Chicago. Great performances from these players, whether it's their first time participating or their 17th.
You know, you get into the latter stages of the game, and it's normal to wonder who will take home the MVP trophy. It's certainly one of those accolades that's mentioned when you talk about the great ones.
On the court for the West All-Stars, English is out there with Malone. Then it's Olajuwon. Then it's Johnson. And it's Lever in at the 2. Here's Jordan after Magic Johnson's bucket. And the basket is good. Jordan's got 4 points in the quarter. And of the players in tonight's All-Star Game, Clark, 2 have won MVP trophies in this game before. Larry Bird and Isaiah Thomas.
And how about this, Kevin? Thomas has won 2 out of the last 4 years. If he was to get 3 MVPs, that would put him in some rarefied air, tying with Oscar Robertson for second most. Bob Pettit is the only player to do it 4 times.
And the East with the lead.
Living up to that favored and top billing and giving these fans quite a show.
Magic Johnson delivers passes with such pinpoint accuracy. Wow.
And, you know, before every game, Karl Malone calls his mother back in Summerfield, Louisiana, to ask what numbers he should shoot for. Tonight, she said go for 25 and 11.
And for a report on the center position, we take you over to David Aldridge.
Thank you, Kevin. Now, one of the big stories this weekend is the matchup of Moses Malone and Hakeem Olajuwon. Of course, Moses helped Hakeem a lot when he was starting in the game. He worked with him down in Houston in the summertime on low post moves and how to really rebound the basketball. Now we see the torch being passed from one of the all-time greats to a future all-time great. Kevin, back to you.
That's a good story, D.A., and there is that handoff, which is so historic to watch. Hakeem Olajuwon, by the way, Clark, got the third most all-star votes this year.
Which indicates how much the fans are beginning to recognize and appreciate his excellence. There's a reason that Olajuwon was drafted ahead of Michael Jordan. He's got a lot of game and clearly on his way to being one of the all-time greats. And in this day and age, you've got to have a dominant center to be able to compete for championships.
He is indeed a very special player. You're right.
And, you know, most of these guys are accustomed to having their team's offense built around them. It's an adjustment for them now to figure out who's going to get the rock most of the time.
Gordy, he's checked in for the East.
Hey, you want to talk about elite scores? Alex English immediately comes to mind. He's another level scorer, folks. I can vouch for that.
And you think about it, Justin Clark, how about the all-star reserve? Guys that start normally are the stars of their team, now off the bench on a team of stars.
Kevin, excellent point. For players who are used to starting the game, probably a rare experience coming in off the bench and trying to get it going. But I think these guys so enjoy being part of this, that sacrifice is not much at all.
You're exactly right. Donaldson, he's checked in for Olajuwon. And both free throws good for Thomas.
You know, Thomas plays the game with such an edge and attitude and great confidence. And I think that gives him an edge out there on the court. He's always willing to go the extra mile.
Here's Donaldson. That one good for two. Donaldson's got his first basket. And the 7-2 center from the Mavericks, James Donaldson.
You know, I think he's the only lefty in this game. Larry Bird and Danny Ainge right left-handed, but they shoot it with their right hand.
You and I have talked about this before, but defending a lefty is different than defending clearly a right-handed shooter. Michael Jordan now with 42 points, Clark. He has tied the record for scoring in an all-star game.
A piece of history. Boy, is he special.
Timeout called here. The West All-Stars decide to talk it over. And Clark, with three officials working games, do you think that'll result in more fouls being called, more eyes on the ball? They can pick up a lot more, certainly with more guys out there.
Yeah, you know, I think, Kevin, it might be the case early on with the third official, but over time it'll smooth itself out. Off the ball, you know, some things you could get away with in the past, maybe not so much with three officials out there.
Here's what the East is going with right now. Ewing's checked in for Bird. Ainge comes in for Wilkins. And it's Rivers in for Thomas. Right wing. Here's McDaniel. Kicks it to Malone. It's rebounded by Ewing. Looking to keep it rolling.
Stay on the attack and keep playing the right way.
Pass break. Here comes the West. And it's out of bounds. Last touch by Ewing. And that kind of stifling effort on defense needs another look.
Those kinds of plays are the ones that get you on the lead and help keep you in front.
Abdul-Jabbar's checked in for the West. 1:51 left in the third quarter. And if there's a rival for the size and athleticism of Michael Jordan, Clark, it might just be Clyde Drexler.
I don't think there's any question about it, Kevin. The Phi Slamma Jamma alum can take flight with the very best of them.
Yep, great athletes. Here's Ewing. Makes it off the glass. Ewing's got 8 points.
The #1 overall pick in 1985, and it was an all-star rookie season for Patrick Ewing. Hurt last year, but nice to see him back where he belongs, right in the all-star game.
Back to Lever. 6 on the shot clock. To the paint, Donaldson. Another shot, and he lays it up and in. Donaldson's got 4 points now in the quarter. And in his 8th season in the NBA, James Donaldson making Clark his first all-star appearance.
And you know, Kevin, before his NBA career, he actually played his first professional season in Italy. So he's taking the path less traveled for sure.
He said, arrivederci to Italy to come to the NBA.
Yes, he did.
And Kareem will need to get it going, Clark, to reach double digits.
I think his teammates have to do a better job of getting them touches. Just keep feeding.
And it's a new single-game record in scoring for the All-Star game, set right in front of us by Michael Jordan.
What an incredible athlete, Kevin, and it seems whatever he sets his mind to do, he can do it. Impressive.
Lever against Cheeks. 11 feet away. It's hauled in by the East All-Stars. Here's Ainge. The basket good off the assist from Cheeks.
And Danny Ainge making his All-Star debut in year 7, having the best season of his career. He went from a singles hitter in pro baseball to a long-distance laser in the NBA.
Here's Ewing. And no luck with that time on the buzzer beater. And so it's the East All-Stars in complete command. Their lead at 28 points going into the break from
The West All-Stars, 45.
Welcome back to Chicago for the 1988 All-Star Game. The grand finale of what's been a tremendous weekend to celebrate the NBA.
You take a look at the landscape of the NBA, and I tell you what, that Central Division, dominant. How about this? 36 games above 500 combined.
They've got Ainge, Kevin McHale out there at below. Then it's Jordan, and it's Cheeks in at the point guard. That's the 5 out there for the East All-Stars.
Magic doing a little self-serve, going vertical on them.
Well, you look at that Central Division, all 6 teams on pace to make the playoffs.
And, you know, Chicago got off to that great start, Kevin. Then they cooled off just a bit. Now tied with Detroit at 3 games behind Atlanta. Those teams are breaked up pretty good.
Here's Cheeks. Johnson with the block.
Tell you what, the long arms and great wingspan of Johnson, well used and suited for the shot denial.
Down the stretch here, the East, Clark out in front.
Getting it done. It's been such a fun game to watch. Entertaining from both sides.
Woo, it sure has been. Here's Jordan. Basket counts. Jordan's got 46 points.
Once Jordan gets inside with the Rockets, practically all over. He's that consistent at close range.
Drexler, no good. Clark, how about the unselfishness of this team?
Love the willingness to make that extra pass, and it has the defense in a scramble mode.
A clear look for Johnson. Knocks down the 10-footer. Johnson's got 4 points in the quarter.
Magic Johnson leads the league in assists, and he's also got the most assists in All-Star game history. He processes the game at another level, folks.
And Maurice Cheeks, Clark, the 6'1 playmaker for the Philadelphia 76ers.
His 3rd straight All-Star appearance, and he's had a total of 4 in his what looks to be on the verge of a Hall of Fame career.
What a terrific defender.
Yes, he is.
And Worthy throws it down. Well, Clark, there was some question whether James Worthy would actually play in this All-Star game.
Yeah, he's dealing with some tendonitis in his knee, and because of that, I think his minutes very well could be limited.
Yeah, he's got to pay attention to the big picture, doesn't he?
Yeah, and after the Central Division, the Midwest has been the 2nd most competitive division. Those teams are sitting at 10 games over 500.
And that's going to be too many steps. Gets the whistle on the travel.
When you're down and losing, those plays just cannot happen.
Doherty, he's checked in for the East. Donaldson, he's checked in for the West. McDaniel comes in for Clyde Drexler. Here's Ainge. West All-Stars with the rebound. And Clark in the Midwest, those Rockets are really making a push.
And they're doing it behind Hakeem Olajuwon. To me, he's the best center in the NBA. They certainly got a chance to give the Lakers a run for their money.
Oh, yeah. Cheeks kicks to Ainge. And a miss there on the triple. Here's McDaniel. Guarded by Jordan. And that one is stuffed right through. And the 6'8 forward from the Seattle Supersonics, Xavier McDaniel.
Now in year 3, he's got to be excited, making his very first All-Star appearance.
Strong player from Wichita State.
And Jordan is simply amazing at finishing through contact. Doesn't matter what you throw at him or who, he finds a way to score.
And that one drops for him.
Magic Johnson in his 8th All-Star game now, 2nd in All-Star votes this year, and he hosts his own All-Star game in the summer in L.A. as a fundraiser. And I understand it's quite an event. Got to give Jordan credit there. I mean, he's got a knack for making tough shots in the paint.
Johnson, the pass to Aguirre. Here's McDaniel. That's in there, coming off the assist from Aguirre. And Clark, with his strength and quickness, Xavier McDaniel, a very tough guy to cover.
Well, he's versatile. You talk about that strength and athleticism. 92% of the time in his career, he scored in double figures. Very consistent.
My goodness. Stolen by Ainge. Out of bounds. It'll be the West All-Stars ball. Ewing's checked in for Kevin McHale.
Checking in for your East, Patrick Ewing.
Clark, their biggest problem so far, taking care of the ball.
Yes, exactly right, Kevin. I mean, they've made some outstanding plays, but way too many turnovers as well.
Some nice passing here by the West. Passes it to Donaldson.
I don't think there was any question about that being a foul.
Second personal foul. Second team foul. Shooting for the West, James Donaldson.
First one falls for him.
At the line for 2.
That one falls, so he hits both of them. The East leading by 22. Cheeks the pass to Dort. And Crabtree with the slam.
And Dort, he's so fundamentally sound as a pivot man for the Cavaliers. I mean, he's got excellent footwork, tremendous touch. He's a gifted passer. He's what you want in a center.
Unloads from 9, and he tries off the glass, but it's no good. Johnson against Jordan. That one, no good. The West All-Stars will go the other way with it. Inside, McDaniel, and he takes the feed in stride and slams it home.
When it comes to distributing the ball, nobody does it better than Magic. When one of his guys has a clean look, the ball is there quickly and on target.
Three-pointer. McDaniel, no good. It's been a one-sided affair for sure.
It is obvious and clear who the better team is.
And here is Johnson. That's tipped. And the Eastern All-Stars deliver. The favorites coming in, but they did not disappoint.
Yeah, you looked at that team on paper and you saw they were the stronger team and should have been favored, but you still got to go out and prove it, and they did exactly that.
And so much scoring in that lineup for the East. My goodness, look at those names. That's always going to be tough to stop.
And you factor in the raucous crowd cheering on Michael Jordan, Kevin. No wonder they found that extra gear they needed when it was time to get it done.
That's a good point. This is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for tuning in. So long, everyone.